I don't know. I don't know. I sent her a text. I don't know if she's got other commitments or not.
Right.
Um, but it is 7:02. Uh, I guess should I start or should I wait more, Pam?
One more minute.
One more minute. All right, we
One more
got
minute.
one more minute. Hopefully people can come in.
Here's Kay. Anthony, your beard keeps getting bigger. You haven't had time to shave.
Right. Well, here's James. If
Here's
I
Kay.
don't start, nobody will come. If I start, people will come.
Sure,
So
start.
that's exact. I'm going to
That's
go
it.
ahead and start. And I just want to say what an honor it is to help you all and see you all doing the work and try to get you guys back because you guys are working for free and you're out there doing all this work. And I just wish it wasn't just me helping you out. I remember going to Melanie Miller saying, "Oh, I'm going to get a bunch of guys to come out and help canvas for you," and I couldn't. It's just me. And I think what we're trying to do is sort of grow this thing. We've gotten some people in Atlanta who are very excited about this and are wanting to participate more in the next cycle. And we're going to figure out ways to connect them more. But it has really been way, way bigger than I thought, way better than I thought. Um, you all are amazing. You all need to get the support to do the work you do. And I'm really motivated to get you guys what you need and to make sure you know you got somebody who's got your back. And that it's just seems like it's a tough ask to stand up to these people in these gerrymandered districts. And I know that if we're all to get if we're all stronger together. And it's really been great. We're really excited about the convention. We're also going to be getting some numbers. Once we get these numbers, we're going to share them with you. But I just want to say thank you all for having the courage, the bravery, and the tenacity to step up and run. It really, really appreciate all y'all.
Thank you. Thank you and Pam for being there to be our touchstones in all of this. I mean, I have my county people have been super, but you've been our liaisons to everything beyond that. And I got to say, you're spot on about the maybe a little bit of a disconnect between
Yeah.
us and Atlanta, but
Yeah.
you and Pam, and in my case, my county people have just been super, and I can't thank you enough.
And what we're going to do tonight is I just spoke. Pam's going to speak for a little bit, and then I'm going to choose people and give people 2 minutes to talk. And if you haven't finished in 2 minutes, I'm going to time you. And if you haven't finished in 2 minutes, I'll give you an extra minute. Um, and that way, everybody will get a chance to talk. And I'm doing it totally random order. So with that, I'm going to give you Pam.
Hey, yes, I have a lot of the same feelings that Bob has. When I was on all these, it seemed like hundreds of recruiting calls with candidates that we had texted, like you guys, and had replied, and I said, at the time, without having any idea how Bob and I were going to do it, saying, no, we will be there with you. We will get you the training you need, you know. But at the time, there was nothing in place. We had no idea how we were going to do that. I think we were assuming we'd get more help from the Democratic Party of Georgia than we did. Because I'm sure you all remember Jake Field, he was great in the beginning, but then he left to go to the Harris campaign and he was never replaced. So we never heard a word from them. But the this has been the project in my life I've been most passionate about. Exceeded anything in my career or anything. It was, um, and we're just bursting with ideas to make it better. We learned so much about what we could do better to help you. And yeah, I think you're all amazing. The Signal group yesterday, it brought me out of my catatonic state of being curled in a ball because you're all so positive. Um, and yeah, it's just really great. And I'm really excited about the future, regardless of what each one of you decides to do about the next run. I know you'll be with us in one way or another. So,
Thanks, Pam. Let's hear from Kathy Cott.
Well, you guys, here's the bright spot that helped me. It was actually Heather White started the bright spot for me. So on the day after election, yesterday morning, feels like a year ago, we woke up to a women's support group that I go to, and Heather was there, and she said to the Han who runs that group that she was so glad that in the beginning she set goals so she could look back and see that even no matter how she felt, she actually met her goals. And that prompted me to do exactly the same thing. And one of my very first goals, once I figured out what a win number might be for a district like mine, was to get just a few more votes than the last Democrat who ran in my district. And I got 268 more votes than a congressional person that ran in my district. That man, number one, was a man, but that man had congressional money. He had huge teams and all the fixins. And me and a handful of supporters and you guys got 268 more votes and set up some very good infrastructure for the next round, which I had already agreed to do, probably 6 or 8 months ago. So having all that in place early in the morning on Wednesday was very helpful to my mental state. Um, we all, I think, are in the same boat where fear for our country and all the other craziness that may or may not happen in the days to come. But we can't control all that. I know what I can control is what's right here in my space. And
That's 2 minutes. If you need to wrap up, if you could wrap up.
I can. Yeah, all that's left is gratitude and hope that you guys will stick around and keep showing up to calls like this. They seem small, they don't take up too much time, but they really help us stay connected. And I'm looking forward to making.
Okay. Um, let's hear from Gareth.
Hey, y'all. Gareth Finley, your Democratic nominee for Georgia State Senate District 46. I sneaked in to the Fighting 50. The Fighting 50 are people running for the House. I ran for the Senate, so the number of voters in my district was bigger. I got 36,000 votes. That was only about 36% of the turnout voters. But I was very proud of the work that was done by my team and the fellowship and camaraderie along the trail. I could not be more proud of what we did. Um, all along the way, I was advised by some people that I wasn't doing enough and that there were important things that I had failed to do, but I didn't let that stop me. And I managed to, especially toward the end, attract the support of some really enthusiastic, wonderful people who went all out. And in the last week of my campaign, I had people who were canvassing for me and volunteering for me, as well as I collected enough money that I was able to pay some people to do some canvassing at the end. And so we were out there door knocking all the way through election day afternoon. We really left everything out on the field. I am just so proud of our team. Of course, I
It's
was
2 minutes.
2
If you need.
minutes. Of course, I was shocked by the by the national outcome. And the thing is that I've kind of come out of my shock and I'm now back to my determination and enthusiasm to do something. So I'm going to be running again for my seat, and I'm also going to be doing other things politically starting right away.
Thank you so much, Gareth. Anthony, are you able to speak or is this a bad time for you? It's a bad time for him. Scott Satterwhite, thanks for joining us on the call tonight.
Glad to be here.
Would you like to say anything?
Not 2 minutes worth, or even three. But Bob brought me into this effort as a supporter, and I think it's a great idea, and want to continue to support the effort. But mostly, yeah, I just want to thank everybody who ran. I think Bob, said it's tough. We're asking you to run, very difficult. Uh, 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 very difficult ground. Hasn't been a lot of tilling of that ground for a long time. So you guys are doing it, and thank you.
Thank you. Y'all give a big thumbs up for Scott. He's a very important donor, and we really appreciate you, Scott. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Scott. While we're on the name Scott, let's go to Scott Jackson. Can you talk,
Hey,
Scott?
Bob. Hey. So right now I'm filled with just nothing but hope and gratitude. I think this was an amazing experience for me. And honestly, I believe this is the start of a pretty exciting career in politics. I think my first time out, I'm not sure if you got the email, Bob, but we actually did get our 38%,
Yep.
which was like a long shot in my district, but we
Right.
did, and that's the best I believe Democrat has done ever against this gentleman here. So I'm happy about that and pleased. I've actually got quite a few endorsements, national, some of them, including Planned Parenthood, the Sierra Club, Gwinnett Forum, and the Communication Workers of America endorsed my campaign. This is the first time out, and I got to meet Gareth Finley, which I feel like I'm going to know her for the rest of my life. She was just a big ray of sunshine for me. So I'm just happy for everything, Bob. And of course, I will definitely be running again, and I'm excited for the future.
Under 2 minutes, Scott. Thank you. A
Nailed
politician
it.
that doesn't use every minute, you got to learn something. You need to
Yeah,
learn it. You got to get, that's the thing you got to learn, but we'll work on
nice
that.
learning
We'll
curve.
work on
Learning
that.
curve.
Let me go back. Anthony, is this a good time for you to share? Anthony?
Guess not.
I'll try again later. Michael Garza.
Hi everyone. This was my second time running, so I have to say that I'm extremely proud of all of you because to see what you all have done this cycle was pretty amazing. About a decade ago, my district was where many of yours was. The Democrat lost by 50 points, and this time we had the best showing of any Democrat. We exceeded turnout from 2020 by 1,750 votes, and 1,650 votes of those went to me. Uh, we shattered our record, and that doesn't happen without Bob and Pam. As a second-time candidate, I will say that most first-time candidates don't run again because they do not get the support from higher up. And to know that we had that support from all of you really meant quite a bit. I'm going to also give a shout out to Gareth because she helped me on some of the fundraising. She kind of lit a fire under me to do my fundraising calls to my network, and for Heather White for showing me the value of TikTok and going from 1 follower to over 2,500 followers. I mean, one thing I'll take out of this is we knocked on a lot of doors. We knocked on close to 12,000 doors. We engaged with Democrats in the beginning. We engaged with strong Democrats with the goal of engaging the community and getting people who might have never thought that there were other Democrats around them involved in the process. And we went from having about 30 volunteers that were active in my first run we gained close to, we had almost 300 engaged volunteers by the end of it. Our day of 1,000 doors, we knocked on 1,080 doors in a single Saturday. This is lasting power within our part of the county, which has been, we extend up into Cherokee County, and this is going to not only help, if I run again, it will help me. If another candidate runs, it will help them, and it'll help Democrats with county commission and school board races. So for all of you, I am very encouraged to hear that so many of you are thinking of running again, because it's going to be
It's a
easier
two-minute warning.
Sure. And I hope that you do this, because it is going to be easier. You're going to learn from the mistakes that you might have made and learn from others. And you've built these relationships with your community, and I think it's great that you want to continue building those.
Thanks, Michael. Mighty Melanie Miller, you want to check in?
Hello, hello, hello. I'm gonna be real quick because I have my grandkids here. So, first and foremost, I would truly like to thank Bob and Pam for everything you all have done for me, the phone calls, the encouragement, the just the push. Because this is my first time running state, and I'm gonna do it again. I will put that out there. I will be doing it again. And this election was exciting. I mean, I was optimistic. I did get some of his votes. So hey, that right there in itself was a plus. But I mean, that's pretty much it. Let me get off this phone because I see I'm coming.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Next is Madeline Ryan Smith.
Hey y'all, I'll turn my camera on. You can see me in my most natural state. Hello. I'm sitting in my bed right now. But I am very happy with my race. I think everybody who's here should be happy with their race. I don't need to tell this group that as a candidate, none of us were supported the way that we needed and should have been supported. And that's a huge reason why we didn't win our races. But the silver lining of also knowing that is that, those of us that are running again, awesome. We should do that. Uncontested races are also why we don't win. If we don't run, we can't win. And people who are not running again, like if I ran again, it would be my third time. I'm not going to do that again. But I also have 2 or 3 people in mind to fill that seat for me. And as people who have been there, done that, we have the power where if you don't want to run again, you can go to someone who you feel like could really do it and offer to be their campaign manager, offer to be their support that maybe you didn't get. And that helps us recruit candidates, that helps us run races, that helps us contest every race. And when we contest every race, we can flip our state legislator. It's just a matter of time. So we just need to keep pushing and pushing until we reach that majority. So it can be done, but I have faith. And that being said, I think the best win that we had that came out of my election was that we grew our Young Democrats of Bullitt County chapter from 5 active members to 25 this election season. And we won the bid for the 2025 Young Democrats of Georgia Convention, will be hosted in Bullitt County. And you guys are also all welcome to attend, obviously. So that being said, if you have some leftover campaign cash for real, like please donate it to either the rural caucus of YDG or to the Bullitt County Dems, because we're trying to have the best and most attended convention that YDG has ever seen. And that would be having 200 kids at convention. So we have some goals and we're doing the work. So y'all just keep the faith, keep your chin up. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madeline. Jack.
Okay, hey, I can't thank you all enough for the support and fellowship to you and Pam and everybody in this room. It's a little different out here in Marjorie Taylor Greenland, where I'm the first person to have run for this office in a decade. So my 5,000 votes are 5,000 votes we wouldn't have already have had, and was hoping to go to the, well, it did contribute to the broader effort. Um, well, you're stuck with me. I'm gonna be here moving forward to the next time. The question is whether I do this or in the state Senate, I'm looking at the 53rd district. We have Colton Moore, who is an odious character. The person I ran against, Mike Cameron, I disagree with, but he's a Presbyterian minister and a nice man. We haven't had the strongest candidate in state Senate, and I'm getting a little bit of support looking at that. Whatever I do, you're not rid of me. I am here. I am going to support. This has been a super experience for me moving forward as I look toward my retirement. And I just cannot thank you all enough for being there. You guys have been great. The state, I'm on my own out here, but you've been super, and I can't thank you enough.
Thank you, Jack. Kay Turner, can you check in?
Hey, I was literally texting in the chat that it was almost time for me to scram with these kids. But I wish I could have my camera on, but I totally look just like what I just went through with this election. So I will scare you all. First and foremost, I just can't thank you all enough. Like, you guys were literally the backbone that we didn't have locally. Well, for me, locally, and just being a first timer, I feel like a freshman. I don't feel defeated. I'm extremely honored. Honestly, I'm proud of myself. I saw it through. I remember starting out, and my baby was 4 months, and he turned 1 the day before the election. So I don't know. I'm patting my back for just, I'm still alive. I'm happy to be alive, guys. But just looking at the numbers, the cool thing that I think is for our opponent, they're going to get comfortable in this season. For us, we have that advantage to see what worked and what didn't work. Just similar to what I could have figured out the first time when I did the special elections. So being able to see 11,000 people just vote for me, or be able to reach those people, I was able to kind of chime in on the different precincts and the areas. I kicked my opponent butt in Grovetown. So if all else fails, I know Grovetown loves me. So I know what to do moving forward and how I could strategize with that. But overall, the cup is definitely half full. I'm excited. I will keep going. You guys, everyone in the Fighting 50, I wasn't able to always be as active because I have that little baby. However, you guys inspire me so much. I've created great friendships from you all. On the outside looking in, I was able to pick up, a lot of times when I thought about giving up, I would see you all keep rocking. So I'm looking forward to keeping that motivation going and that momentum and building with you all. But I will definitely keep the ball rolling.
Awesome.
Thank you, Kay. James Shade, glad you're here. Can you check in?
Hey everyone.
We can hear you.
You can hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Great. I'm actually using a different software system right now to talk to you guys, so I don't really have a chance you get to visually see the tears on my face from the Kamala Harris campaign. I actually worked on that campaign and put a lot of effort into trying to get folks out to vote right along with my campaign. So I put a lot of work into both campaigns, and I'm very happy about the turnout for my campaign. We brought a lot of folks out that we didn't have just 2 years ago and even 4 years ago. If you go back 2020, we brought out 7,000 more people than we had then, and just 2 years ago we brought out about 4,000 more people. So this district is growing. It's almost in the metro area with everything else, but it sits a little bit outside of it, being that it's in Cherokee County, where they have a stronghold on all of the votes there. So moving forward, I'm coming back again, 26, coming back, and I think that I think I can make a change. I think I can fix this. I see where I went wrong, and I see where I can pick up more votes. Um, I think I sent the message out. I lost a lot of the young votes, young people. They just did not come out and vote in this area. I got a lot of working class folks, a lot of older people. They were very supportive in the campaign, but it's just, I didn't reach the young people, and I'm trying to find out how and why. So moving forward, that would be my goal, is to try to reach out to many young folks as possible to get them to just get to the polls. It's a start.
That's
But
great. That's 2 minutes.
thank you. But I would also want to thank the Fighting 50. I didn't say anything about the Fighting 50, but the Fighting 50 has kept me grounded, being that this is the first campaign I've ever done as a candidate. Now, I've worked on campaigns, but this group of people here and everybody, just you guys have actually been my manager, reading all the comments and seeing that there is hope out there. This has been the most inspirational thing. So I thank every one of you, and I will be there in January
Awesome.
to turn up.
Thank you so much for running, James. Elaine Paget.
Hey, so I took yesterday off to grieve, but so I've been running the numbers today, not just for me, but for our entire county, Forsyth County, and we actually gained votes from Biden to Harris in this county. The percentage of votes was about 0.4% more, which, I consider a win because it's
Huge.
In the red
but
wave.
anyway,
Yeah.
of course I'm going to run in 2026. We're doing a post-mortem on all the candidates. We had a really phenomenal school board candidate that I'm going to try to get to run for a state house in 2026. And right now, we had so many people come out of the woodwork to volunteer and to help in this area. And we really need to not lose those volunteers and keep them engaged. And right now that has to be physically meeting, getting together, keeping them involved and moving this process along so we can already start fielding candidates for 2026. Um, and and in doing my postmortem on my campaign, even though I ran for school board in 2022, this time running for House district, I was able to, still see what worked. Like I had paid canvassing this time, which I hadn't had before. I did mailers and targeted canvassing with other candidates and could really see good numbers based on you know, what I did over the last person that ran for this and of course my overlying school board areas. So got a lot of good information for 2026. And the best way to recover is to keep moving on and be ready for 2026. We've got a governor and John Ossoff. So it's still going to be a big campaign. And I'm proud of Forsyth. I'm proud of my campaign and all of us making a difference. And, so I'm ready to go for 2026.
Awesome. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Right at 2 minutes. Perfect timing. Rodney Moore. Don't want to keep you up too late, buddy. I know you got to get up early.
Hey, Bob. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'd like to say thank you, and it's been the greatest experience of my life.
Oh, wow.
And I mean, I actually got to go talk on the radio stations, which was really fun. And I had one TV show. I mean, I hadn't decided if I was going to run again yet. I just want to compose and think about it before I do it. But I've already talked to Mara, the one that ran for Congress here, and we've been talking ideas today. So, so I'm still not sure.
That's
but
okay.
But out of all of this, I've started a nonprofit organization for senior citizens.
Nice.
Because some of this stuff I felt strong about, I said I want to help.
Thank you, Rodney. Anything else you want to say?
That's it.
You're awesome, dude. Heather White.
Hi, everyone. I, of course, want to echo everyone's appreciation for Bob and Pam and everyone of our donors. But I'm excited to run again, and I feel just, it's so funny because obviously we're all upset by the presidential election, but I'm just energized by like thinking about what we can do, what's the next thing we can do. And I feel like it was such a learning like experience. It's been fun being plugged into my community in this way, considering I was like a displaced soldier before and getting to know my community in a different way and trying to figure out what I'm sure a lot of you were. It's like who's helping who how, like and who, I'm looking forward to growing that like network of support and trying to figure out one how to improve, the weaknesses I have in my campaign and how I can maximize also on my strengths for the next time. But I just I'm so happy you guys called because when I said I was going to put my name on the ballot, I literally might have that would have been where it stopped. I don't know how far I would have gone if I hadn't had the follow-on support. Um, so you guys really took me from just being like willing to do something to trying to do a lot more, and I really appreciate that.
It's
Thanks.
mutual.
Hope Beard. Can you check in?
Greetings, everyone.
Bye.
Um, wow, I don't know. It's so much. I am, I don't know. I think I'm still in that surreal feeling about the presidential election because I really thought we had that in the bag. So I'm still trying to cope and process with that. Definitely want to thank the Fighting 50. You guys definitely helped me grounded. Pam, I don't even know how to even thank you for getting me on my feet, helping me crawl to walk and stand. And I'm just so thankful for you for everything that you've done to assist me. I know had to lean on you and rely on you very heavily, and I really appreciate all of your assistance. Um, Heather, I know Heather is taught. I call Heather almost every day. She was definitely a strong support system. Heather, thank you so much for being there for me and helping me out with all of my graphics and designs and everything. I'm always calling her, like, can you help me do this? And just meeting her in person for the first time was totally awesome. And um really all of you guys, Kay, I know I talked to you a lot. Anissa, Melanie, I'll call you and we've actually had events together. All of you guys just have been totally awesome. I've met a lot of people in person, so I was super excited about that. The run itself was, wow, it was very challenging. I had a lot going on throughout the race. I had death in the family, then Hurricane Helene hit, and I'm super exhausted right now, but I tried to make sure that I made every event. Um, Honestly, I'm really I was introverted when I started. So this campaign and this race really brought me out of my shell as a therapist. It's easy to talk to someone one on one, but then when you're out trying to talk to people, and in massive amounts, it's really different. And I think I have stage fright, um, of some sort.
It's 2 minutes. Can you wrap up?
Yes. Yes, but again, I just want to thank you all. I was super excited about the run again, and my opponent texted me yesterday, and he just told me I was a class act, and that was very important to me because he gave me a compliment. So I just told him thank you, and he has to definitely be ready for me on the next run because I'll definitely be running again. So,
Thank you, Hope.
all right.
Who is it says state rep 2026 or bust. I don't know who that is. Who is that? Can you check in?
Hey, how y'all doing? This is Mitchell White.
All right. We should
How
have
you
known it
doing,
was
Bob?
you, Mitchell. You want to
Hey,
check in about your race?
yeah, how's everybody doing? Yeah, I just want to uh thank you, Bob and Pam, for you guys' help, for your recruitment. giving me a sense of purpose during this election cycle. And I also want to just encourage the other candidates to who may be on the fence about running again. I have a saying: I don't fatten the cow for somebody else to slaughter. And in this upcoming election cycle, it usually goes against the party that's going to be in power, which are the Republicans. So you'll have some wind at your back, even on a local and state level. So I just want to, encourage everybody to remain engaged, plan, plot, strategize. That's what I'm doing. And this isn't over. This was just the beginning.
Awesome. Anything else you want to say?
No, that's it.
Okay, thank you so much, Mitchell.
All right.
Charlotte, would you like to check in about your race?
Sure. I'm shocked that in 3 counties, my vote count was almost 6,000. I'm shocked. And anyhow, and I tried every avenue to get my face out there and my word out there and so forth. So that was very successful, and a lot of it thanks to you all. I was amazed at the support that several organizations provided us and communicated with us and gave to us. It was an amazing experience. Of course, I'm disappointed, but I also, what do you call it? I just got an email from this guy named Dan Wilson, who ran probably 4, 5, or 6 years ago. And his idea is this: we can keep on doing what we do. And what we did was good. Okay. But sadly, the people who listen to Trump, they're going to get a realization, whether we like it or not, whether they like it or not, they're going to realize that it's not going to be all wonderful, and that they weren't listening. They didn't hear him. And they also believed all of the fake TV ads that were put out against Kamala. And they're in for a rude awakening. So we have to be prepared for that. So that's all I've got to say.
No, thank you so much for running, Charlotte, and
Yeah.
Anthony, are you in a spot to share about your race?
Yes.
Final.
First, I want to thank the Fighting 50 for all the support, the training, the donations. It really, really came in handy. This was the most difficult campaign race I ever been in. I got COVID.
Oh.
Had kidney stone twice.
Oh.
So, woo. Ouch. So I had a lot of distraction, but from the get-go, I always said, if I don't feel like I did my best at the end, I deserve to lose. I campaigned up until 7 o'clock, November the 5th, and I was dog tired. I really went out the way, social media, digital, newspaper, radio, door hangers, yard signs, speaking. And I feel good because of the work that I put in, and disappointed on the back end. But I see some hope. I see some hope. We just have to just keep going at it.
Thanks, you. Anything else, Anthony?
That's it.
Thank you so much. Thank you for stepping up. Teresa Thomas, we're checking in, about 2-minute check-in about our race. Would you like to tell us how you feel and how you feel about your race?
Sure. Well, how I'm feeling, I'm feeling good about everything that you all did for us. I'm feeling good about being a part of this awesome group. I feel good about the work I put in, being in a rural area and not really, being limited to resources, funds, and support. But I went out there and I gave it everything. I connected with every opportunity, every event that was being hosted. I had 3 major events myself that were very successful. I feel like I did everything I could possibly do to get my name out there, my why I was running out there. I feel like I was non-traditional. I always say that because I had to be very creative with what I had to work with. I had obstacles along the way that, could have made me say, I can't do this anymore, but I persevered and I pressed through. And of course, at the beginning, trying to get qualified, I had, but I believe I did what I was supposed to do. I believe this timing, had purpose. I feel kind of, of course, like everybody else, disappointed because we put in so much hard work, not just for myself, but for Kamala. I had some awesome people in my community, my Democratic Party. They were amazing, and they did step up to the plate and they did a lot, to help me as well. They put me on the billboards. They, got out, held signs. They, took my signs and put them in a lot of different places for me. So I was blessed to have so much support. I still believe that it's not over. It's not settled in my spirit that it's over for Kamala in the Democratic Party. I just feel like there's a ram in the bush somewhere. And I know it's yet to be known, but they asked for it, so they got it. And I don't know if they're going to be happy with what they asked for.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, Teresa, that's 2 minutes. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
Thank you. Thank you to the Fighting 50. You guys are awesome.
Well, thank you all for checking in. Thank you, Teresa, and everybody for stepping up and running. A couple of housekeeping things to go on real quick. One is we sent out a survey, and we really need people to fill that out as best you can and get it back within a month by the end of November. We're going to use that data as part of our convention and also to show people, how much work you actually done. And this is evidence of the work you're doing. I can't imagine the number of texts we've sent out total. It is probably 1 million texts. I don't know if it is, but it's a lot of texts. And then this last thing is a very interesting inside baseball thing going on right now. Got a call this afternoon from Kyle Tremblay of the Ossoff office. She came to one of our meetings, and they are very frustrated with Nikema Williams and her lack of leadership at the Democratic Party of Georgia. And as Melanie just said, ying, 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 they are demanding that she resign.
I'm with them.
So what I've worked with them, and we need your help on this. We have their communications guy called us up, and we have a letter that I'm going to share with you, and I'm going to read it out loud. This is the letter. I don't know if y'all. This election was a dire disappointment for all of us. We not only lost the White House, but failed to pick up seats in the Georgia state legislature. We, the undersigned, represent communities across rural Georgia, across our great state. After this great disappointment this election, immediate change is needed in the Democratic Party of Georgia. Simply put, members of Congress shouldn't be leading state parties of battleground states, especially if they spend more time campaigning in their solid blue district than leading the party in every region of our state. When Georgia Democrats won in 2020, 21, and 22, we ran true statewide campaigns focused on turning out votes in every part of our state, from Dalton and Rome to Tifton and Valdosta, the Coates, Chattahoochee Valley, and every small town in between. The truth is, in 2024, the Democratic Party of Georgia failed to do that, and we lost. The reality is that being a U.S. House of Representatives is a full-time job, requiring the member of Congress to spend countless hours in their district and in Washington. There is simply no time to lead a battleground state party. We, the undersigned candidates, respectfully request that our chairman, Nikema Williams, resign her position with grace and dignity, allow a new slate of leaders to move our party and our state in a new direction. I have emailed this just before tonight. If you agree with this, you could reply to my email and say you agree. We are not requiring anybody to, but John Ossoff really needs good leadership, and I highly recommend it because what's going to happen. There's an article coming out in the paper tomorrow, and they want to show people that candidates across the state did not get the support they needed from the DPG. And I've spoken with several of you. And I'll just leave it at that and then open it up for limited discussion right now. So thoughts, comments?
Can I just?
Okay, well,
Oh.
I'm going to just let Charlotte first and then Elaine.
Well, being on the very northern state line to North Carolina, we in the northern counties have felt like we've been ignored for a long time and not sending up representatives or anything else. We've had to create our own gatherings such as Blue Fest or candidate forums or whatever. And we've had to do that from our brass knuckles. And so we're just disappointed that they couldn't be bothered to send up reps to get, to get folks out and come and listen.
Well, thanks, Charlotte. Elaine, did you want to say something? And then
Yeah,
if
I'll just
anybody else
say
wants
that.
to say something, raise their hand and I'll try to get order. Okay.
So Ossoff and Kyle were up here on Sunday to do a canvas launch, and they had brought up the same issue, and we really agree. I mean, one of the reasons Stacey Abrams did not get elected in 2022 is when she came up here to some of these outside counties, her messaging fell very flat here, and we cannot afford to have that happen again. We need people that know what's going on these outer I'm probably as close to, the inside as a county can be in Forsyth, but the messaging is different out here, and we need somebody that understands that. So we have already talked about this, and the people up here wholeheartedly support John Ossoff and in a different outlook for these outside counties. So definitely the party failed us out here, certainly.
Yeah. All right, next is going to be Madeline and then Jack.
I have a lot to say about the DPG and about Nikema Williams and the lack of her doing her job. I have a different lens on the DPG than a lot of people in this meeting because I am a caucus chair and I was elected in a statewide election for that position. I've been in that position for over a calendar year, and I have never had a face-to-face conversation with Nikema Williams. That should tell you how much she cares about disabled people in this state. The answer is she doesn't. On top of that, I'm also a young Democrat, and I'm the treasurer for our rural caucus of the YDG. We have not received funding from the DPG in 4 years as an entity. Okay, that should tell you how much the DPG cares about our youth vote and our Gen Z movement. The answer is they don't. This year alone, we had our YDG convention in Atlanta in Nikema Williams' district. She was asked to come and speak. She said yes, and no called, no showed us, and was speaking at an event 2 miles up the road at the same time, same day. The messaging alone is not the issue. The messaging is a symptom of a much deeper problem that, quite frankly, starts with Nikema Williams, but does not end with her. It's the entirety of the leadership of the DPG. And if we want to win elections, we need to start not only looking at, but we need to stop putting people with elitist prerogatives, which would be resume building, doing something after one of their mentors just because they love their mentor so much, doing something because they think they're the right demographic to do the job, regardless of how well or how well not they're qualified. All of those things are problematic, and that's why we lose elections.
Mhm.
We need people who are real, everyday people, like people in this room, people who don't have a career of being a politician or losing elections and then quote unquote failing up by being a leader in a state party, especially in a battleground state. That's also a problem. So, all that being said, y'all, like this comes from a very long, frustrating era of dissent as me as a caucus leader, but also just as a candidate and as someone who's really involved in the DPG. I'm ready to walk away from it. My entire caucus executive board resigned yesterday. I'm the only one left on it.
Wow.
That's what we're dealing with right now.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Jack's turn, and then Gareth. And is there anybody else
Thank
I'm
you.
missing?
I've had a little experience too. We've had a lot of support here from as I mentioned it in the chat, the Sean Harris campaign, and that his support came through DC. And whatever support I have here has come from that end and not from Atlanta. I'd also like to mention an experience I had. I was up for being a delegate for the national convention, and there was a checklist there about where you came from and your ethnic background. And ultimately, everyone who represented this state came from Atlanta. And that sent a real message to, again, what this state is about. And there is a lot more to this state than just Atlanta. And we could really make a difference if they reached out beyond that. Again, that's just my experience.
Thank you, Jack. Gareth.
Hey, only speaking from my own perspective, the coordinated campaign based in Athens, Georgia was tremendous and gave great support to down ballot candidates. So maybe that's a different look from how it was in other parts of the state, but we had great support here in the area that was somewhat surrounding the Athens area. That was from the coordinated campaign.
Mhm. But that was all pretty late,
Yeah.
pretty late.
It was tremendous support that we received. That's all I want to say.
Okay. Thank you. And so anybody else I'm missing? Anybody else want to say anything?
Well, I guess I feel some frustration too, as you know, because we put everybody on the DPG, everybody on that website gets our newsletters, with all the pictures of what you guys are out there doing. And nobody has reached out to us to say, wow, you guys really have some amazing candidates. How can we help? Not once, nobody. So.
Yeah. So what we've done, and like I said, there's a newspaper story coming out tomorrow. I've sent everybody the letter, and if you agree with it, just respond with you agree and put your name and your location. And this is public. This might be public. This is you making a public statement about this. So if you do, it is not required of anybody. We're just asking you for this, and uh, that's kind of where I want to leave it. Just reply to the email, and I will add you to the list. I've already had Eric Gisler, Kevin Ehrenholt, Anissa Weissman, and uh, Andy Ferguson have all agreed to sign the letter. So the more people they're looking to show the public and put pressure on the Kima to show people that unfortunately this is going to be sounds like it's going to be a big fight, and it's going to be a public fight, and it's going to be messy, and it's too bad. But I think that you all deserve the support, and unfortunately, it has to be this way because she's not listening to reason in my mind.
That we're doing it now rather than a year from now.
Right, right. And it's because I think John Ossoff is very much in touch with us. John Ossoff is aware of our group. Hopefully he can come to our convention. They know the date. He's a senator who knows what his schedule is. But they are big supporters of ours, and they need help from us, and they need help getting a new state chair so that he can win his race, because it's going to be a bear. It's going to be
Yes, it will.
so. Anybody have any final thoughts?
I would like to just say something.
Sure.
Yeah, so I feel strongly that rural communities have been seriously neglected. And we need a new, strong, supportive message about the rural communities. I know I'm just one, but if you look at the map, it's clear. If we don't do something in the rural communities, we're never going to win over Georgia. That's just my thoughts on that. And, there's rumors that Marjorie Taylor Greene might be running against Ossoff. Oh my God. And so that's my neighborhood, which in a way could be a decent thing for getting us some attention, because she hasn't done anything for us. So that would be helpful in that way. Like, what'd you do at your last job? Nothing. So anyway, just saying, we're not going to get very far if we ignore rural communities in a state demographic like Georgia. And so, whatever that takes.
Okay.
Bob,
go ahead. Anthony, do you want to say something?
Yes. Is it okay to forward the letter? I know two people that I asked to reach out to the Georgia Democratic, Nakima, and they was told they was seeking money for campaigning anything, and they was told that they don't have any money. Prior to that, the federal government sent money, but they told them that they didn't have any money and that they didn't know where they got that from to help the candidates.
Are these two candidates for what position?
Merler for Congress and Blake for state senate.
I tell you what, why don't you CC me on that so I can get them to and make it, I'll make it separate from our letter, because what is going to happen is I'm going to gather up all the people who reply to me and send it to them. Send the Ossoff campaign, all of our people who agree to this.
My county chairs would be very supportive.
Yeah, if you know other people here, if anybody here knows of other people, send it to them and CC me as well. Okay. And that way we can keep track. I don't want to get things confused, but yeah, if you have other people that are interested and agree with us on this issue, forward it to them, and but CC me, and that way I can keep track of county chairs, congressional candidates, etc. And if we could get responses by noon tomorrow, that would be great.
And I just saw a question from Kathy about filing DOIs. So we're going to schedule another Zoom call and record it if you can't be here, about what you need to do if you're going to run again and what you need to do if you're not going to run again, as far as closing down a campaign or updating your old campaign. So keep an eye out for that. We'll do that soon.
Because we don't know.
Yeah, because we have no clue. Michael probably knows, but we don't. Yeah.
So also add to that list, Act Blue, like what's the best policy for stopping automatic reoccurrings and stuff like that.
Ah, okay.
Anything else? Any last words, anyone?
Yeah,
Guys.
Bob, you mentioned something about a letter. You said you sent the letter to the candidates or something to
Yeah, I
sign.
sent this letter about asking for Nikema Williams' resignation to get better representation for the Georgia Democratic Party of Georgia to have a better leader to support rural candidates.
Okay, did you send it to our email? Because I didn't see
Yeah.
it.
Let me see. I think I sent it.
Okay.
I got mine.
Okay.
I already returned it.
I send it.
I got it.
Yeah.
It might have gone to Amiri Joseph, Michelle.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna check and see if I can find it.
Let's see. I sent it to this. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I sent it at 6:59. Yeah. Yeah. So most people got it. I will. What should I do?
Well, we can just forward it to him.
Yeah, I'll just forward it to you. I'll get it to you after the meeting. I am not leading.
Okay.
I can't. I'm not leading the league in multitasking, Mitchell. Anything else anybody wants to say?
Yeah, Bob, can I hop in one more time?
Absolutely.
When 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 Bob and Pam introduced me to this project, there were 9 things I liked about it. And now after tonight, after semi-meeting you folks and listening to your stories and listening to you talk, and most importantly, the interactions you have with each other and the trust and the love and the compassion you obviously have for each other. There are now 10 things I like about this project. And I really look forward to meeting you all and being with you in Macon. I think it'll be a fun night.
It'll be great. It'll be great. We're all looking forward to meeting everybody. I mean, I've met a lot of y'all, but some of you I've never met in person. It's like, oh, I see you on Zoom. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
In person.
And
We are
meeting the
super
significant
excited.
others. But yeah, Scott is a very major donor. So
yeah,
he helped you all a lot.
All y'all got something from Scott. Just put
So
it
it
that
sounds
way.
like Scott, my new best friend. Hey, Scott.
Yeah, you want to be friends with Scott.
Thank you,
How you
Scott.
doing?
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Scott.
Everybody
Thank you,
say
Scott.
thank you. 1, 2, 3. Everybody say thank you,
Thank you,
Scott.
Scott.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you, Scott.
Definitely is a thumbs up.
All right. I'm going to end this meeting. We will be in touch. We will send out another. I'm going to the Philippines on Monday to get away from this country for a couple weeks. But after Thanksgiving, we'll send out an email and information about the convention, and that'll be the next time we get to see each other for real. That'll be
Yep.
awesome.
All right. You get to leave, but you have to come back.
I might. It
That's right.
depends. All right. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.